The golden age of westerns spanned from the silent era to the gritty spaghetti westerns of the 60s, where legends like John Ford, John Wayne, and Clint Eastwood defined the frontier mythos. Hollywood struck gold early with the Great Train Robbery in 1903, and by the 1930s, the western genre had galloped into the hearts of moviegoers. Italy soon rode in with its own brand of dust and gunpowder, turning Eastwood into an icon. But by the 70s, the trail went cold until the 90s brought a quiet revival, ironically led again by Eastwood himself. Though no longer the dominant force it once was, the western still draws a royal pose. In this video, we are counting down 10 modern westerns that are just as good as the classics. So saddle up, hit subscribe, and let's ride.
Assassin!
Well, I guess they have to come.
The man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
Kicking off the list at number 10 is The Harder They Fall, a bold western that hit Netflix in 2021. Unlike the old cowboy films, where heroes were mostly white, this movie shines a light on real black cowboys, lawmen, and outlaws from the 1800s. Jonathan Majors plays Nat Love, a man haunted by the murder of his parents. When the outlaw Rufus Buck, played by Idris Elba, is set free, Nat joins forces with U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves to get revenge. With stars like Regina King, Zazie Beetz, and Lakeith Stanfield, the film earned high praise, scoring 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and winning multiple awards for its powerful cast and story. Next on the list at number 9 is The Power of the Dog, a slow-burning western drama that took over the Oscars in 2021. Directed by Jane Campion, the first woman ever nominated twice for Best Director, this Netflix original won her the Oscar she missed back in 1993. The story follows a quiet rancher, played by Jesse Plemons, who marries a widow, played by Kristen Dunst. But trouble starts when his bitter brother, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, begins tormenting them, especially her son. With powerful performances and deep emotion, the film dives into themes of cruelty, silence, and survival. It earned 12 Oscar nominations, proving the Western genre still has stories worth telling.
What you doing? Getting mixed up with her.
You are marvelous, Rose.
Coming in at number 8 is Tombstone, a 1993 western that brought the Wild West back with style and swagger. Instead of diving into Wyatt Earp's full life story, this film jumps straight into the action when Earp and his brothers ride into Tombstone, leading to the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. Kurt Russell delivers a solid performance as Earp, but it's Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday who truly steals the spotlight with unforgettable lines and a fearless attitude. Packed with stars and sharp dialogue, Tombstone isn't your typical old-school western. It's louder, slicker, and still a fan favorite that helped redefine the genre for a new generation.
You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
Isn't that a daisy?
Drinks are on me.
So saddle up for the ultimate view.
At number 7, we have The Proposition, a gritty and powerful Australian western released in 2005. Directed by John Hillcoat and written by musician Nick Cave, the film tells the story of Charlie Burns, played by Guy Pearce, who faces an impossible choice: kill his violent older brother or watch his younger brother be hanged. Set in the harsh Australian outback, this film feels just as raw and intense as the classic American westerns of the 60s and 70s. It dives deep into themes of loyalty, justice, and revenge. The Proposition also stands out for its honest look at Indigenous Australian culture, giving it depth and realism rarely seen in westerns.
The judge and the jury?
Arthur Burns must be stopped.
My God, man, they raped a woman. She was my friend!
At number 6 is Bone Tomahawk, a bold and bloody western from 2015 that mixes cowboy grit with horror chills. Kurt Russell plays Sheriff Franklin Hunt, a tough lawman who leads a rescue mission after a group of townspeople are taken by a savage tribe of cave-dwelling cannibals. It's like a western crashed into a horror movie, and somehow it works. The story feels familiar at first, with a brave sheriff and his posse riding out to do what's right. But instead of old-school shootouts, you get terrifying, gruesome moments that push the genre into new territory. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's unforgettable and truly one of a kind. Number 5 on the list is 3:10 to Yuma, a 2007 remake that gave new life to the classic western. This gripping tale follows Dan Evans, a poor rancher played by Christian Bale, who takes on a dangerous mission, delivering outlaw Ben Wade, played by Russell Crowe, to the train headed for Yuma prison. What starts as a job turns into a tense battle of morals, courage, and survival. With a darker twist than the 1957 original, this version dives deeper into the characters' struggles. Thanks to powerful performances and sharp direction by James Mangold, the film earned 2 Oscar nominations and an 89% score on Rotten Tomatoes, proving not all remakes fall short.
You say one more word, I'll cut you down right here. I like the sound you did.
Landing at number 4 is Django Unchained, a bold and stylish western released by 2012 by Quentin Tarantino. Set in the pre-Civil War South, the film follows Django, played by Jamie Foxx, a freedman who teams up with a clever bounty hunter, Dr. Schultz, played by Christopher Waltz. Together they hunt down criminals and plan to rescue Django's wife for the cruel plantation owner, Calvin Candy, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Packed with intense action, unforgettable dialogue, and emotional depth, Django Unchained stands out as one of the most daring westerns of the modern era. It earned 5 Oscar nominations and took home 2, cementing its place as a true genre standout.
Yes! Django. The D is up.
At number 3 is True Grit from 2010, a fresh take on a classic western by the Coen brothers. This remake stays closer to the original book than the famous John Wayne film, telling the story through the eyes of young Mattie, played by Haley Steinfeld. Jeff Bridges shines as the tough U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn, hired by Mattie to catch the man who killed her father. Alongside them is Texas Ranger Matt Damon, joining the hunt. With its strong performances and gripping story, True Grit earned 10 Oscar nominations and proved that sometimes retelling a classic with fresh eyes can bring new life to the Western genre.
I will kill this girl!
Biggest mistake you ever made.
At number 2 is No Country for Old Men, a dark and thrilling western from 2007 by the Coen brothers. Based on Cormac McCarthy's novel, it tells the story of Llewellyn Moss, played by Josh Brolin, who finds a bag of money after a drug deal gone wrong. But taking the money puts him in deadly danger from Anton Chigurh, a cold and relentless assassin played by Javier Bardem. Chigurh is like a force of death, stopping at nothing to get what he wants. The film's chilling story and powerful performances earned it 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor, making it a modern Western masterpiece. Taking the top spot at number 1 is Unforgiven, a 1992 film that brought new life to the Western genre. Clint Eastwood directs and stars as Willie Money, a retired outlaw living quietly on his farm until a brutal act pulls him back into violence and revenge. The story doesn't paint heroes or villains in simple black and white. Everyone has flaws, including the tough sheriff played by Gene Hackman. This anti-Western challenges old ideas and shows a darker, more realistic side of the Wild West. Unforgiven set a new standard for modern westerns and remains one of the greatest films in the genre's history.
Assassin!
Oh, I guess they have it coming.
Any man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
These modern Western movies show how the old Wild West stories still excite and surprise us today. Each film brings something fresh while honoring classic themes of courage, justice, and adventure. What do you think about our today's list and which movie is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the CineWizard for more interesting videos like this. Turn on your notifications by pressing the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new videos.